Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching from. Welcome to Stock Market Technical Analysis Daily. This is Wednesday, April the 7th, 2021. It's currently 5:51 a.m. Pacific Time, 6:51. No, no, it's 6:51. 8:51 in New York and in Toronto, meaning we are 9 minutes away from 1 p.m. Across the pond in London. We say hello to Mr. Paul inside of the live chats. Miss Marcy, glad to have you. Mr. Don. All right. If the sound is good, guys, we can go ahead and get started. Wednesdays are usually wild. I mean, we are starting relatively quietly in pre-market this morning. Is not an indication of what is to ensue, right? Once the gate opened, because yesterday, for instance, the market was really flat in pre-market, and then that didn't stop. Especially the successful trade alert. So if you you haven't been trading them for us, we had some great trade yesterday. I think one of the stock in there, what was it, the biggest mover yesterday. Let me actually bring its chart on here. That's something else, we will get to that later. So the biggest mover yesterday was this one. This is an opportunity for us maybe to answer a question that you may have. But before we do that, let's start with the 30,000 feet view. We're going to take a look at the US equities through the ETF. SPY, QQQ, IWM on here to get a general sense of where the market's going as I'm trying to fix the boomer mic on here. All right. All right, let me just check that before we had confirmation about the sound on here. We say hello to Miss JLo as well. Mr. Dunn, glad to have you. Let's see. I see a lot of movement. The audio. How's the quality of the audio, traders? All right. Well, let's. I'm going not. I don't want to assume, but if there is no negative feedback, I will say. I will then. Well, yeah. I mean, that's assuming. Again, let's one last check. Sound is good. All right. Thank you. Okay. let's get going. So here's SPY, folks. Right. We started April with a massive gap. Well, massive, yeah, kind of really, because we were trading at 395 ish thereabout, and April 1st came. That was last week. I mean, time flies by, right? So April 1st, we're April 7th, yeah, 7 days, though we've only had three trading sessions in between because of the Good Friday and the long weekend, right? So SPY has gapped considerably, considering, and now it finds itself outside of the daily Bollinger Band. Yeah, the upper Bollinger Band here yesterday was at 404.97. Let's say 405. We traded timidly. The range yesterday was really well. It wasn't much of a range. I mean, 405.76 open, 407 high, less than 2 points, and then a low of 405.40. I'm not even sure if that's, but yeah, let's assume that we close at 406. And this morning, it's for the longest of time in pre-markets, I've been watching it for over the last couple of hours. There haven't been that much movement. There's a slight gap on here at 405.32. So for us, that's good enough because we are Wednesday today. Wednesdays are typically wild, so I'm going to really get into the habits. Hey, just Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Obviously, that's a given expiration for everybody. But the 2 days that SPY has expiration, so for us, we want to take advantage of any type of potential direction that they want to go. I mean, we talked yesterday about what transpired on Monday, right? So yeah, definitely we want to take advantage of that. There was a significant gap on Monday again, and then they kept going, and there was a gap and go that posted just, I mean, it looks not that much, but that 3 points and a half were really big. in terms of the payout. The payout was more than a 10 bagger. So for us on here, we set up a GangstA trade for us, our subscriber inside of the GangstA room. So I just want to make sure, let me give it a pick on here, so that somehow those strike price, yeah, I believe the two strike price that I picked in each one of the direction, they match that 3 to 4 point range on here. So let's see how that goes. The whole point is definitely that this is such a low risk in terms of potential amount of money that we are putting into the trade to get a big reward. So this contract, we want to get them for 10-15 cents. That's the spirit of the GangstA strategy on here. So yeah, SPY little bit extended on here, fighting with the upper Bollinger on a daily chart. So plenty of room for it to, I mean, let's zoom in a little bit. I mean, it seems obvious, but at the same time, there are two gaps really. The first gap on here, it's all the way to 467. So let's see what they bring. QQQ, the tech, similar type of pattern. I mean, how many green days has a QQQ posted since, let's say, the 25th, where it was trading at 308? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If you count yesterday, seven. Let's say 7 consecutive days on here, with the last 4 days being just consistent higher highs each and every day. So right now, QQQ, just like SPY, the upper Bollinger on QQQ is at 329.16. The stock was trading yesterday at 330.82. That was the close. So this morning slightly gapping down on here. So something has got to give. We have always said that, hey, regular stock or any type of commodity that you're trading, the upper Bollinger band represent that natural resistance. Meaning if the stock or the whatever instrument you're trading has enough bullish momentum, yes, they can sustain a ride on the upper Bollinger. Otherwise, the stock or the commodity will have to cool off a little bit. And when it cools off, usually there could be gaps that it has to fill. We are looking at gaps on here on QQQ. Really, there's one that's waiting here below the low here is 322. And so that's 10 points away. So QQQ only has expiration on now this coming Friday, April the 9th, but that's three days away, so we can take advantage of that. And obviously the natural support will be the closest moving average. This is the EMA 8 in yellow, currently standing about 323. So that's the picture where we're starting this stock market technical analysis daily on April the 7th, 2021. Last but not least, on here we go to the small cap with the Russell 2K IWM. Notice nowhere near its upper Bollinger. Nowhere near its upper Bollinger. This is something, even in the rally last year, if you were in the market in April of last year, when the markets, after posting lows in all the way to, I think the low there was March the 23rd, before the rally, the big rally, the V-shaped recovery rally in April, IWM didn't participate that much. And then we have seen it this year, or starting November 3rd. I always go back to that date. Look at this massive rally that IWM had put in. But let's be honest here, has been mostly sideways since, let's say, February the 10th, where it posted an all-time high 229 thereabout. So we're currently trading at 224. So we're going now into February, 2 months, where IWM has failed actually to post an all-time high, while the other indexes have been doing that. So something to give on here, it's trading above both the moving average, and they will be acting as a support. The yellow and the green line, you see, they will be acting as a support. And let me give you those values. So the green line is the exponential moving average 8, currently standing at 222, and the exponential moving average 20, the green line, which is actually higher, which tells us that we have been, this is coming from a bearish territory into a bullish territory, because the most recent momentum is not the one leading. The EMA 20 is the one leading. I mean, they are virtually identical. So the numbers on here are 222.11 for the exponential moving average 8 and 222.19. But that's pretty much tells us. So meaning, should we get a reversal on here, we should see the slope of the yellow line pointing down again, and the price can begin coming down again. We are not saying that that's what's going to happen, because at this stage, obviously, we're above all of those moving average. We're even above the middle of the Bollinger Band, which is the white line that is called the basis here in TradingView chart. So let's see what the week brings, but definitely we are looking for some movement, and when there's movement, we know how to make money in either direction in this market with the strategy that we trade here at Successful Tradings. All right. Let's say hello to more people who just joined on there. Mr. T, good afternoon to you, sir. How are things in London? Mr. Donny, good morning. And we have loaded up on paycheck. Paycheck. Is it paycheck? Yeah, PAY. That didn't move yesterday. Let's take a look at the chart that's PAYX. Saying Mr. Don is saying he's loading up. And what if it's bullish? Actually, it recovered. The range was tight, but what if it's bullish on here? In the case that they are the stock actually posted a low yesterday of 92.74, and then it's proceed into recovering all the way to 97. But I mean, that was a huge gap from, let's say, 101 before the earning here. At this stage, it's anybody guess what this could be doing. We are looking for movement, right? For us, yesterday it was one of the stock we talked about, but we have trade on both. We have set up in both directions. I believe we are trading the 105 calls. They were super cheap, and then the 90 puts. Yeah, it would be great if, let's say, they start moving. We just want some type of convincing movement over the last 3 days on here for paycheck to show us what direction they want to take it here. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at we just crossed 9:03 Eastern time in New York, where the stock markets will open in approximately 27 minutes. You know that if you are new here, we used this scanner. Well, yeah, it's a scanner, Finvi scanner, where we are taking a look at the most active stocks on here in the US, in the New York Stock Exchange. So right now it's showing, based on the conditions, our filtering conditions, right? It's optionable above $20 and with a volume of more than 1 million shares. We are seeing, let's say, okay, here is Riot, is a stock that we are familiar with. Marathon Digital Holding, Mara. I mean, pretty much each and every day, Mara. Mara is a moving stock. Let's take a look at the chart of Mara, and ask me. I want to get your impression. What does it say to you, or anything? Right? Look at how Mara pretty much. I mean, this is daily. If you were to look at it on a weekly, it seems as if Mara picks a direction, and for 3-4 days, it follows that direction before changing direction. The most recent direction has taken this stock from $30 to 49. Yeah. Yeah, so 49, or yeah, I think it was even slightly higher than that. So yeah, so yeah, yesterday. So it went into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days of consecutive winning from 30. Prior to that, it was on the 4 days losing streak. So these are the type of pattern that you can identify. From the overall chart perspective, looking at Mara on here, we can see that previously resistance was exactly at the level where it's starting now of, let's say, 49.50 thereabouts, and the last couple of days was able to break out above that. Should this thing find support at that level, it can definitely go further. Let's actually take a look. I didn't plan on this, but hey, when the opportunity presents itself to teach, let's go ahead and do that. Let's look at the stock of Mara, and because this is how. So here's the daily chart of Mara. So a stock that was trading last year, November time frame, it was a $2 stock. $2. Yep. Let me make sure the chart is fully visible on here. So November time frame, Mara was trading at $2, and then the rally started. We started the year of 2020 at $12, and Mara has had this tendency of big run. It can really move quickly. The problem for us, the problem we have to live with a very, very high implied volatility, meaning that the cost of the option on here, because market makers know that this is a highly volatile stock, right? So that's translated into that. So the option tend to be relatively expensive, actually very expensive, not even relatively, very expensive. So should you find yourself into the wrong direction in Mara on here with very expensive options, you will more than likely lose money, or if it does sideways on here. But typically it hasn't. I mean, you see, let's maybe take a look at the weekly to really paint the picture on here. Here's the weekly chart of Mara. And I'm not sure if, let's say, it has weekly option or just monthly, so you will have to check. But the ATR here, one factor to use on the ATR on here, you see on this week an open at 27, a high of 41. That's $14, folks. The ATR on there, and this on this week $8. But from the high of that week at 49, the previous day you found yourself trading the stock at $26. Yes. So the question on here is Mara break out of this range. The upper Bollinger, actually, there's room. It's at 56. The stock is trading this morning at 49. So watch out on here. For the longest of so far, let's say since February, actually not even February. Let's say on the weekly chart on 2021, though it has been extremely volatile from week to week, we see a rising EMA 8. Yeah, has provided support onto this. So for me on here, if you had to ask me, the next time that Mara comes and touches the EMA 8, the yellow line, could actually be a good opportunity to go long, either if you want to buy the stock, you want to take leaps, or whatever. Yeah, if we were to apply that rule here, remember the famous the inverse of the cross of death, which is the momentum cross. In this case, it happened way back in November, where the exponential moving average 8 on the weekly chart just start trending up, and we can see that visually by measuring the distance between the EMA 8, the yellow line, and the EMA 20, the green line. It has just been rising and rising. So right on here, we need to be mindful of this type of stock, where really, I mean, we have talked about it here enough. People always asking, traders are always asking, oh Telex, give us a, we know you trade weeklies, but can you give us some type of long range trade as well? This is one of those, right? And the property on the chart need to show you on multiple time frame an uptrend like this one, because typically for leaps, whatever, we know that traders they buy calls. So again, on here, I can put an alert on here. Let's do that live. I love doing this alert lately because you forget about them, and then when it pops, you're like, oh yeah. So for us, the alerts on here will be what? So add alerts. We're going to see that when Mara crossing down, and then actually, yeah, so crossing down, we can either have a price or we can have a value. So for us here, we can say when it crosses the EMA 8, yeah, here it goes. But I don't want to do that, because I need them to specify something. I'm just going to give a value. So that EMA 8, I can compute it on here. It's at 40.70. So we are going to say that 40, yeah, for 41, yeah, what, 41, proceeding for one, look for support at weekly EMA 8 and go long with calls. Now if you have to ask me, oh, what's the strike price you will need to use, then you and I will have to talk. All right, so I created my alert, and then the expiration of the alert, it always gives, like, for the default is a month, so meaning I don't even know for Mara. I mean, this thing could take a couple of days before it hits that number. So create, forget about it. It will send you an email. It will pop on the screen, on any screen. You don't need to have the Mara chart open. Let's say as long as you have TradingView, you're looking at any chart. That's definitely will trigger. These are the alerts on here. Oops, do I have any? Oh, yeah, okay. I showed them, but okay. So here are some of the recent alerts that we have used on here. The most recent of which was MU yesterday. MU for us, we did that study. If you were not with us, if you're not part of our Discord room, we had that alert on MU. Let's move away from here. So hopefully there's no question on Mara. Let's move away on here and talk about MU. Where MU stand right now, because that's a trade that we are going to be patient on it. Here's the daily chart of MU. Yeah, and I want to go back to my data window. So here's the daily chart of MU. The yellow ellipse that you are seeing, they just help us identify that pattern from upper Bollinger to coming down. That's what they are. In right now, yesterday closed at, it posted a low of, what was the low yesterday? 92.66 from a high of 96. This, and then closed at 93.50. Starting this morning at $94. It's, I mean, as of now, something has got to give. Yeah. So if you want to trade MU on here, you're just patient. There's very little room. I mean, the upper Bollinger stand at 95.36. This could break out. Don't get me wrong, folks. We are just saying that the previous time that the stock came here at this level, it got rejected. So are they going to repeat that pattern? If they are going to repeat that pattern, yesterday actually, I think, was it 85? But even going to next week, even better, you can really pick some outside of the money contract, very cheap puts on there. You can go all the way to 82 if you will. Where's the lower Bollinger on here? Because that's what they tend to usually approach the lower Bollinger. The lower Bollinger is 82.63. So here you go right there. But a breakout here is not out of the way. For us, we just want this stock to be moving. The last 3 days, every single candle is red, meaning that it could not find buyers. The bears were more powerful than the bulls over the last 3 days since its earnings. So today is the 4th day. Let's see what it brings. Gapping slightly here, $0.50 in pre-market. So those are the type of stock that we definitely want to be in trading. Oh yeah, what got us there? I think we started in trading. Yeah, you see how we started in trading view, we went to FinViz, then we start talking about Mara, then Mara led us to MU. I think that's how time passed by. So this is it on the bearish side. There is no other stock on here that I'm seeing on the bearish side that much. Let's see on the bullish side what do we have. So on the bullish side, Abercrombie and Fish. Oh yeah, okay. Oh boy, look at this chart. Beautiful. Yeah, beautiful. So ANF testing prior resistance at the current level of 37. So potential breakout there as well. PDC Energy, it's up 4%. Oh my goodness. Oh dear. Look at this guy. You guys cannot see. Sorry, my bad. I apologize. Let me recenter the view. And then the chart that I want to show you guys, I don't know why I react like that. I reacted like this. Well, that tells you pretty much everything. Here's a chart of B1. Yeah, long ago on the day where actually one of our traders made substantial gains. A trader here trading on that. You see that day there, I believe was it the 28th of January. When it gapped, there was a gap of, I believe, over $64 thereabouts on some news. It was a second day momentum. How do we know? Because the first candle there, that was an alert in successful trade alert, and then that stock spike all the way to 220. Since he has done that, my friend, look what B1 has gone through. Nothing really, and most of the time is not even tradable because the movement, the ATR has reduced significantly. How do we know that? Let me toggle on here very quickly and show you the ATR pattern of B1. So hence it's difficult when this stock, I mean, it's being up 3%, you could just say this is a chart of the ATR, and instead of the ATR 50, meaning averaging, looking at the average true range over the last 50 days. Yeah, I mean, doesn't matter over the last 50 days really. I mean, what difference will it be? Let's say we say save here. If I go to the 14 days, it's sloping down. The ATR here rose sharply on that day, the day here, does it tell me the dates? It was the 28th of January, if I recall, that big candle there all the way to 220. That day actually, I mean, most of us, we traded it on the downside, right? Because when it stock gaps up like that, if you don't know, this is our opportunity to let you know. So right now, you can see here the SMA 20 is that green line that the stock is trying to cross over, but that has been a trend line, a bearish trend line, a descending trend line, if you will, for all of that time, right? Actually, let me do also ourselves a favor and actually look at it here in trading view. That's with our own indicators, such that. So this is the daily chart of B1, and I'm going to put it like this, and I'm going to bring, hopefully I can manage that to show you a downward trend line. It's not even that great, Telex. A downward trend line will really be okay. You know what, Telex? Forget about okay, so a beta downward trend line. Here you go. Yeah. And then if you want to extend it, something like this. So yeah, let's watch out for B1. So let's say we are going to be bullish really above 135, because it hasn't been able to go above the EMA 20 for the longest of time. The current EMA 20, it's at 135.38. So that's small gap this morning, and what this thing is wild enough. In the same day when you're trading B1, just be ready to make money in both directions, meaning you can never be safe, no matter how bad you want it. But lately, this thing has been just in a doghouse, if you will, has not had any momentum whatsoever. News have come in of anything, even after earnings on here. I mean, the next day gaps and then sold off. If anything, that has been the pattern on this day from 162 to 141. These have been the opportunity on here. So if it is to show us consistency on here, a couple of green days, which have been rare. So let's see here. For maybe timidly, I will keep an eye on B1, and who knows, tomorrow or Wednesday and Friday could be a good lotto on here. I mean, in either direction, right? Because either, let's say, it gets rejected again, and guess what? Oh Lord. But in that case, if it gets rejected again, for me, it's not just worth trading, because that's really frustrating in terms of stock. So very quickly on here, so that was B1. We got that one from FinViz, and because it's gapping, 3.77% with some type of volume, 141,000 shares on here. That's rare enough not to be mentioned. I don't see that many other stock that are really moving here in pre-market. DraftKings is moving, yeah. It's another one that let's quickly check the chart of DraftKings on here. It's another one that has gone through a lot, because it wasn't that long ago it provided this double top at $72. It's trying to recapture the EMA 20. Yesterday closed for the first time in a long while above the EMA 8. So now gapping up at 65.15 above the EMA 20, which stands at 64.37. So yeah, definitely worth a shot on here to keep a look at this. And when these things start moving, my friend, I mean, don't be shy on this one. Yeah, a stock moving like this, you just ATR method or whatever. For me, the chart sometimes tells you what strike price to use. Yeah, so all the way to 72, 73. Yeah, that's we have seen that momentum on here on this direction. So that's one other stock that's moving in pre-market. All right, it's 9:20, folks. I think that's pretty much it. We're going to give everybody 9 to 10 minutes to reset our mind. Wednesday tends to be wild, hence we coined the phrase wild Wednesday. So let's see what that brings today. We'll definitely be keeping an eye on SPY at the closing. Thank you, everybody, and we'll catch you on the next episode. Bye bye.